Because he beat Ganzi, right?
Exactly.
It's more like a, yeah, man, I lost to Tasia. It's like, well, what round did you lose to? The round of 256. But I lost to Tasia.
See,
if he didn't stop me,
here's what
I would have
happens,
went
right?
far, right?
This is what happens for people analyzing my skill level. I lose to BeastyQT. Now, if he beats Ganzi, nobody knows if I'm better than Ganzi or I'm worse than Ganzi.
Comparatively, they can't tell.
They can't tell. But if Ganzi beats Beastie, then Ganzi looks like 10 times better than me. And
it's like, well, man,
that
you
can't
couldn't even beat
happen.
Beastie, yeah.
So I'm going for BeastyQT. Froda, how about yourself?
I played Ganzi because he's actually really good TVT. Ganzi, not necessarily that strong in Terran versus Protoss or in other matchups, but I think he's also got some really good mind games in this series, as we just saw in game number 1 and game number 2. He did the exact same looking build where he hid the first barracks, but he did 2 very different things, and as a result, almost threw off his opponent completely. Let's go ahead and talk about our opening builds again. Ganzi displacing his barracks slightly to the left, but for the most part, still doing the same thing. I like it. It is Cloud Kingdom. Andre, what kind of strategies do you like seeing on Cloud Kingdom?
Oh gosh, TVT. I think a lot of builds actually revolve around defending not a 1-1-1, but what we saw with Select versus Cloud, where you do siege tank pressure in the beginning. I think the metagame has switched over. Not completely. Don't get me wrong. There is the standard just Hellions, and you take your third base, or Marine Marauder, you take your third base, etc. But what I'm really concentrating on is this area over here, and conversely this area over here. I can actually siege up the natural, and then at the same time start elevating up. And it's really awkward for you to position units, the right amount of units, I should say, to kill both areas. And you can end up losing a lot of money because of that. So that's just something important to note that I have been seeing a lot, not only on ladder, but in professional games. Just keep it in mind as we move forward.
I feel like that goes both ways because, again, if I can cite Tage's tendencies on Cloud Kingdom, on a map like CK, he plays that triple orbital command and plays really defensive because you have that ledge that can protect all 3 bases. Your siege tank can cover that natural choke that people try to force themselves. You can also protect the third base up the ramp if you position correctly. So I think more of a defensive 3-base play can be is very, very viable, especially if you go for a Marine tank composition. But as a result, people still are trying to flirt with the idea of going mech on Cloud Kingdom, even though there are a lot of counterattack places.
Yeah.
And I feel like mech is still kind of is not found its place on this map yet.
It's kind of weird. I mean, some people still choose to go mech. I think the biggest things for mech is that, as you said, defensive 3-base is really good. If I go Marine and Marauders, whoa, hold on real quick. BeastyQT going for a Ninja expansion. My goodness.
Oh, but
are we going to have...
Mind games
no
of
way.
all mind
no
games.
No way, Ganzi. No way are you...
Oh, wow, this Marine, man.
You know, Marines are the most anticlimactic units this series. My God.
They always stop right before the reveal.
It's like, nope.
Man.
Nope.
And it's crazy because Ganzi's sending the Marine back. He's like checking for any kind of proxies, like proxy starport, proxy factory. Yeah. And it's just, man, if these Marines had the glasses I had, man, they'd be able to see so far. Because I recently got new glasses and my prescription was updated. my prescription was like 20% worse, man, because I haven't gotten new glasses in 5 years.
Now you see everything in 2010, right?
Yeah, I can see everything in crisp 1080p.
Whoa.
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 I have my subscriber pass in-game.
You know, we used to joke about that with gunners. It's like, oh, with my gunners, I can see the world in 1080p. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it won't hurt my eyes. The UV rays are protected.
Is that true? I don't think so.
Or it's not the UVs actually. It's the gamma radiation or something from the monitors is what makes gunners supposed to be very effective. Regardless, I'd love my own pair of gunners. Maybe if they're listening, I'd love a pair. Just saying.
I have a pair.
I'd also like a Rolex as well if Rolex is watching.
I'd like some Nautica shirts if Nautica
While we're
is
at
watching.
North Face, winter is coming. I'd appreciate some jackets. I'd plug you all day if I had to.
Yep.
What would be your dream sponsor on here?
My dream sponsor? Oh gosh.
Don't tell me Crocs.
No, it would probably be something like
because you wear your
Whole
Crocs
Foods.
every day, man.
Whole Foods would be
Whole
awesome.
Foods?
I would love to actually shop there if it wasn't so god darn expensive.
It's really expensive to be organic, man. I feel like it's either the most worthwhile thing or the biggest hoax in like consumerism history, man. Like it's quite ridiculous, but one thing that isn't a hoax at all, or sorry, something that is sort of like a hoax as well, is Beastie's play to make it look like 2-base Terran. And if Ganzi scanned and saw what was in Beastie's base right now, he knows something's fishy. He'd be like, there's no way 7.5 minutes and you're still have this underdeveloped tech. Even if you are sticking on Marines, you should have way more Marines because you wouldn't be safe necessarily against a 1-base push. So I think Beastie is playing a little bit dangerously, but he's used to this kind of stuff. He does this build in Terran versus Protoss quite often. And I want to see how much he can get away with at the expansion in the bottom right.
I think it's going to get away with a lot, actually. This Banshee is not going to the bottom right-hand corner. A lot of times, you see the Banshee actually going to the bottom right and then going over here. Now, an indicator to actually tell his opponent that there is some sort of proxy expansion is that there's no mules on any of the economy lines. So when he gets in here and he sees, oh, you have no energy on these orbital command centers and you have no mules on the mines, what's going on, Beastie?
Oh,
I know
man.
something's up.
Ganzi just missed the expansion as well with the Banshee that's moving up towards the right side of the map. He was trying to dodge the watchtower. What an interesting development.
Yeah.
Now Beastie's able to zone out this Banshee and with a
Oh,
turret, or
Ganzi.
will he?
Ganzi! Oh.
Man, that Banshee never even got to fire a single missile.
Poor guy.
That's really tough, and Beastie as a result is feeling a lot more safe.
Oh yeah, I mean from here Beastie knows that the Banshee tech has actually been exercised, has been used. That was definitely within his opponent's range. When you scan and you see, oh, there's only one reactored barracks, there's no more barracks around here, and then I see a factory that doesn't have anything on it, it's most likely going to be something like Cloaked Banshee or Cloakless Banshee. So he prepares for that. Once he verifies that he is going that, he knows his opponent has no advantage anymore. He just gets more turrets. He knows he's far ahead with his economy. No problem at all. Now, one thing I would love BeastyQT to do is actually make another command center. That's going to sell that this is going to be a non-proxied expansion. But, never mind. BeastyQT got found.
Oh, did Ganzi even notice?
No.
Did Ganzi? He didn't know. Oh, okay, no. In his vision on the bottom right, he saw a geyser before it was canceled. And Ganzi has no idea. In fact, he's going to be like, I see something orange. Is that a building? And he looks over, he's like, And then the medevacs, wow, Ganzi really has no idea. And Beastie says, well, get out of here. In fact, the mineral patches don't even look like they've been disturbed that much either.
What does that tell us, ladies and gentlemen? Proxy to the top left-hand position. Ninja expansion over there, because it's a lot safer, LOL. But double medevac drops are not going to be found right here. Ganzi actually squeezing through the cracks. There aren't any units out to actually defend against this. BeastyQT might be in a little bit of trouble, but they are, yet again, going for some sort of trade. There are 2 siege tanks on the high ground. That's going to help out quite a bit. But here's the Stim Marines, and it's not going to be enough. Does he actually take out the medevac? Wow, he almost did.
Almost did. If he did, he would be able to snipe 3 of the Marines as a result. Now Ganzi is in the base of Beastie. He's way out of position. A lot of his SCVs are long distance mining. He's pulling his SCVs as well, but he's also attacking the third base. Beastie going for a direct base trade at this point, at least for on a mini-scale version.
Nice. And
he's going to be able to get that command center, a huge win for our Orange Terran.
Yeah, BeastyQT needs to actually be careful. Now, he did clean up everything in his main, but look at what he actually lost here. 53 harvests versus 63. That's quite substantial. Actually, it's not as big as I thought.
He did lose a command center.
Yeah, he lost the command center, but remember, he has the third base. Okay, BeastyQT is actually ahead. I thought he might have taken too much losses from that one drop, but when it comes down to it, he killed the third base. His opponent didn't, and this extra mule actually helps out quite substantially. Also, the extra SCV production, so he'll be able to get back into the game with his SCV count quite fast.
Man, Beastie is going hardcore Marines, man. He's got 3 more barracks making 3 reactors. He's going to be pumping out lots of Marines. And by this mid-game point, you want at least like 10 Marine production nonstop, especially with triple orbitals as your economy. Some people scale up to maybe 15, 18 if you really feel gung-ho about Marine control, but you need to get this production. That's something Beastie's very well known for, being able to consistently stay on top of his macro despite going for very early greedy plays.
That's exactly right. I mean, I can't stress that enough, how important Marines are. And oh my god, this is exactly why you need Marines on the map, to take out these flying dropships all over the place. You need them to, be scattered all over the place. You can see Marine over here, Marine over here. It's actually controlling space ridiculously well, and it makes it so hard for Ganzi to be successful with these attacks. Obviously, BeastyQT just being all over the place, and it's working out so substantially well. BeastyQT now looking to attack probably over to this third base. Really wants a hit before he's able to materialize any units, but in the meantime, there is another drop going over to the third base. This could actually cause a little bit of havoc inside the economic lines.
2 fresh meals, fresh for the picking, but Beasty does lift and tries to evacuate.
Oh my, and BC is actually going to go for a big stim before any sieges, and BC's got to split up as soon as possible.
He's taking lots of damage, Andre. There's a lot of tanks, but the unsieged tanks also doing great DPS. Beasty managing to break through. Can he finish the job?
He's going to do it.
Backing off.
He's going to do it, Frodan, and look at that. Another command center going to be picked off here. He's going for the SCVs, and now he goes for the command center. Goodbye, Sally. Down goes the command center, and the drop over here is going to be picked off as well.
Sally the command center?
Sally the command center.
Is that what we call it? Wow. I guess I did not see that one coming.
Dude, I'm throwing curveballs all over today.
Oh. Because the command center doesn't have someone piloting it, does it?
Excuse me. Click on the command center. What portrait do you see?
Oh, the adjutant.
Yeah, her name's Sally. Thanks.
Is it Sally?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just made it up.
I have no. I thought you were quoting the campaign or something.
No, I was just messing.
Regardless of what happens, Beasty is he's on his second hunt. He's on his hunt for his second Sally kill, trying to go push closer and closer to this main orbital command and shut down the mining. Ganzi's in a world of trouble. Love Beasty patrolling his Marines all over the map to make sure there's no medevac that's gonna go for a mass base trade again. Beasty said, "Fool me once, fool me twice, but you won't fool me a third time." Ganzi now trying to move out. What do you know? Trying to go for a counterattack at this point.
He went fool can't get fooled again.
Yeah.
And he easily cleaned everything up. Now, I think Ganzi obviously going for the only thing he really can. He needs to go for this counterattack because attacking into that position is just awful. But here's, oh no, the big stim.
Not even stimming his own Marines.
This
Ganzi
is going to be it.
Slow.
Yep, this is going to be it, Frodan. This being cleaned up really says, goodbye, Ganzi. Get out of my game. Crazy lag. TT, GG.
Yeah.
Ganzi will tap out. And the victory goes to BeastyQT.
Ganzi was slow to even stim his Marines.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where like halfway through the battle, he's like, stim the Marines, when there's only like 2 left, and guys are like, yeah!
But you know what? I assure you that BeastyQT had his own lag that was very hard to overcome. It's unfortunate, but when it comes down to it, we're having a multiple country international tournament. That's probably the better word to say. An international tournament over the course of 9 weeks. It's definitely hard to actually get everyone together, but when we do, sometimes it's hard for them to actually play. The lag is an ever so present issue.
It is.
But we try to make it as fair as possible, and I think these 2 players playing on North American server had to be the fairest.
Yeah, and to be fair, you can even notice it again for the last battle. I mean, he didn't even stim his Marines halfway. And I always feel bad for my Marines if they die without stim, because at least in their stim, they lose a little bit of feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they die, they're at least not dying in pain. But when they die without stim, it's like, oh, that one really hurt.
It's like the milk of the puppy.
R.I.P. Marines. It is. It is. Guys, that gaming series was brought to you by Kingston HyperX, the gear that provides, the company that provides SSD and memory for NASL Season 4. We'll be back with our next series of the day. It's going to be between Night End and TT1, or Protoss versus Protoss. So Mirror Sunday continues. Just kidding. We have Finale versus MMA coming up next. They just played like 10 minutes ago. So we have that fresh off the press. Don't go anywhere. Korean versus Korean when we return.
Rah.